Hey, welcome YouTube channel. Tony Murata into play here, and I know I've been playing a lot of my Stompy build recently, but I know a lot of people would like to see more of the original Green Sun Reclaimer list. I would like to try and tune that list as well, because I feel like it needs some upgrades given the new metagame after the bans. So, if you've been following my stream as of late, the card that I'm very hopeful of ends up possibly being like a staple in this deck is Stonecoil Serpent. So I'm going to try at least a couple of those today here for this league. So some just general of my deck building principles that I go for with my list. I'm looking to narrow it down to just as many 4-ofs and just like keeping the list as consistent and streamlined as possible. Just finding the most all-around card choices in the deck. And my hope is that Stonecoil Serpent is going to be this like all-purpose utility creature that I can play, whether it's to like block Delvers or pressure Planeswalkers, and play along with like the sometimes Elvish Reclaimer aggro plan. Also just in general against like creature fair matchups. My hope is that if you just cast this to be big enough, that bigger than anything the opponent has on the battlefield, then that'll just mess with their calculus and hopefully force them to not attack and just be a deterrent in that way. So yeah, I hope this card ends up being good. So I'm going to test it for the near future here in this list. So now the more difficult question is what's going to come out in order to fit these in. I'm going to start with 2 Stonecoils, and both of them main deck. I just got the feeling that this is a 2-of card. So we're going to cut the Walking Ballista, we'll put that in the board. And the other cut will be Mazavith. I've never been the biggest fan of Mazavith, and plus we have Glacial Chasm, which is a much more like all-around answer to some of the stuff that Mazavith is defending against. There's also some overlap with Stonecoil anyway, because I do intend to use this as a defensive answer more often than not. Some of the other cuts people suggested, I know people like hate Kozilek, Butcher of Truth, and one day Moto will load the art, but when I was testing a different build of this with 4 Stonecoils previously, cutting the Kozilek and the 4th map, I didn't like not having a 3rd Eldrazi threat at the very top end of the deck. Like these are old Emrakul, new Ulamog, those are just the staples. They're always going to be in this list. But I do like a 3rd option. I won't like shout out Kozilek Butcher of Truth as like the #1 choice for everyone. I guess it's more of a personal preference what you put in this slot. But if I'm not quite at Emrakul mana, but I'm approaching the end game, and Ulamog's not going to be what I want to get the job done, usually I want some card draw. And so I would go with one of the Kozileks for that. Usually if like the opponent has too many threats on the board for Ulamog to answer, then you want to try and draw into Glacial Chasm. And I've always just liked old Kozilek just being a threat to the board with his Annihilator trigger. Also, don't sleep on the Shuffle trigger. Just knowing that all of your cards can come back a second time after they've hit the graveyard, I think it really plays well to the inevitability that this deck offers. And yeah, I don't want to go to less than 4 maps. I think this card is just too fundamental, too important. Alright, the sideboard, we have this extra Ballista here now. I'm just going to cut back on 2 of the traps. I think I've played enough lists where 4 traps are in the sideboard that hopefully combo opponents will just expect there's 4 of these. But you can use the space better. I'm actually going to put just a 2nd Ballista here in the board. I feel like this kind of has some overlap with Stonecoil, just mostly as defensive answers, but they're good for different situations. And if I have 2 Stonecoils here, I do like having 2 Ballistas as well to supplement that. So yeah, we're going to try this. Oh, one other thing I wanted to try as well. I saw Anger's list that you want to challenge with did this, and this might be minimal, but let's see if this ends up being any different. I've always ran 8 total green sources, 7 basic forests, and then 1 fetch. let's just tweak that number to 6 basics and 2 fetches. See if we notice if we can get Reclaimer to be a 3/4, like more frequently, like more naturally. Maybe it's not the greatest idea with Stifle being as prevalent as it is, but I don't know, maybe that is what we want against Stifle. Try and get that to get stifled rather than like a Reclaimer activation. But mostly I want to see, I need to test Stonecoil Serpent. I just have a good feeling about this card. I really wish I could fit like 4 copies in, because, you know, that's how I roll, 4 ofs. On the play here, I'm gonna ship this. Not enough lands and a bunch of creatures that I want in the deck to green sun for. Seems a little light on land, but just have a turn 1 Reclaimer and also a bunch of 1-drops to use. And I'm gonna try this. Hopefully we draw a land on our first draw. Put the Rec Sage back. If we don't draw a land or like a mana source, obviously I'll play the Eye, probably just cast Expedition Map. Bolt. Alright, that's good. Let's just search up another Reclaimer now with this. This is probably like some form of Delver. Wouldn't mind if this gets like Force of Will, Force of Negation. Force of Negation pitching Baleful Strix. I mean, this is like Grixis control or something. Need to not shuffle. Alright, let's start with the Snap. More important spell. I really hope this resolves. So you need to get our first Cloudpost still. Alright, let's do a Needle. I guess I'm gonna say Jace. I think that's the most likely. If this is, in fact, Grixis control. I could just say Wasteland. Maybe they're running like a couple Wastelands in deck. Yeah, let's do Wasteland instead. And then next turn I can use my 2 mana to get a Cloudpost. Oh, that's really good. This is pretty devastating. Alright. It's not terrible, given the situation. God, Force, switching Force. Assuming this means Grixis control. If that's the case, this should be a good matchup. Although we did get to a very slow start right here. And get my first Cloudpost this next turn. Unless I draw like a Cloudpost and I'll just play it out. I feel like I can probably win this here as long as I can hit enough land drops. Alright, let's just get Cloudpost out. I just play out the other forest. And even if I don't draw another land next turn, I might just keep this in hand, just to pad the hand for an eventual... Oh, okay. Another Kolaghan's Command. Alright, it's good. Good. Hopefully we get our 8th mana this next draw. Otherwise I could search up one of the Stonecoils. It's not super... Yeah, I think I'm just going to search up a Stonecoil here. This next end of turn. If there's any other land to the Stark Depths there, probably just cast that. Choose a Force. In that case, I might just search up Ulamog and hope just to draw the mana source. Let's see if I can bait with this excavator first. If they go to Force here, I'll probably just crop rot immediately. If they don't... Okay, well, definitely going to crop rot the steps. I'll wait for them to tap out or to do something. Alright, let's do this right now. Jocelyn to Force, but... So we don't set our mana back. Okay, excellent. Let's get a stage here. Ugh, jeez. Six. Perfect. I like just searching up Kozilek here. This seats the Force, it's fine. So better to play this map out, keep it in hand. I think I'm actually just going to play it out. Get my Kozilek, a 10 power creature. It's definitely the Liana that I'm not as afraid of. Alright, let's see what this finds us to start. I like that Vesuva, I think. Let's get some more mana. Or get some more life gain, if nothing else. Yeah, it's probably the best hit here. I was hoping for a prime time, but we can't win them all. Alright, let's just clear some of this board here. Attack Lily. I'm at Emrakul mana next turn, so I think I might just get a Stonecoil here. Alright. Came pretty close there, but got there in the end. Alright, might be Blood Moon. I might bring like a couple Force of Vigors in. Probably not the full set though. I do like the Ballistas. Both for answering their tiny creatures, and also pestering planeswalkers. Maybe some number of carpets as well. Seems like a matchup where I might just want like a smattering of everything. Just like a bunch of 2-ofs, not committing to all too much to like a single card. I like maps a lot. And I also like just keeping all of the threats here. Keeping threat dense as possible. I just got the crop rots. If I do this. I just feel like Depths is not going to be all that useful. And normally I do keep Chasm in against anything that's beating down with creatures one way or another. But I'm kind of tempted to just cut it here. Yeah, let's see if this costs me. I can only see maybe like a Gurmag Angler making me wish I had this still, but I think I don't think I have to worry about what the opponent's attacking with too much in this matchup. I'm gonna keep this. Finds a Cloudpost for good. You also just don't want to mulligan against these Hindatorok decks. Alright, I'll take that. My only choice. Let's get our green, get the map down. If we get hidden next turn, kind of hope we lose a prime time and a Force of Vigor. Definitely not the lands. Alright, Force, pitching Hull Breacher. Alright, no second land drop from the opponent. In that case, let's get a Glimmerpost out there, go search up a Reclaimer. Hopefully they're just out of answers for that. Force of Negation, pitching Force of Will. Okay. I just need a Cloudpost now, and that should be good. This is fine. It's a fine draw. Cloudpost later. to prime time. Lost the Force, which I'm happy about. And also lost a Vesuva. Let's make this a Glimmerpost. Come on, please work. Okay, they got one card left. Just get a Cloudpost now. And then hopefully I can just slam this prime time next turn. I think we win if we get this down. Get Eye of Ugin Cloudpost. It's not bad either. Let's just cast our prime time though. Force pitching Brainstorm. Alright. I have nothing in hand, so we draw one more mana source. Oh no, we are at prime time mana already. Even better. Let's change anything. I don't think so. So I'll just gain a little bit more life. You only have one prime time left in the library, by the way. This is why I argue always for 3 prime times. Especially with discard spells being a big thing now. If your post opponent is getting Eye of Ugin Cloudpost off of prime time, you're in serious trouble. Sure what they could do here. If I draw a mana source, I'm at Emrakul mana with this primetime trigger. I don't, so I might as well just get whatever. Probably just get Cloudpost Karakas here. Yeah. Alright. It's a nice domination of a good matchup. Yeah, 1-0. Definitely watch the rest of this league.